Paycheck, Ken Meleen, First Family. You may have heard of him. So he says, we started with a need for cash flow. So our first two homes were bought for cash. How did we get the cash to buy? Jumbo reverse mortgage.
Amazing, right? You're building a plan right off the bat that's right for you today. But the intention here is that your situation, especially financially, improves each and every year. And so your plan is not stagnant. It doesn't always stay the same. One of the things we get to do with clients is typically on an annual basis, we get to sit down and have what we call our performance review. And we get to sit down and review expected returns, actual returns. How are we performing? Why is it working so well? If we stubbed our toe a little bit, why did that happen? Bringing everybody into that conversation. And then the question is, how is your financial situation? How are we getting to that end goal for you to accomplish your why? And what steps do we need to take today? What steps do we need to take in the next 3 months or the next year? And that's where the next buying plan date comes to, at least we have an agreement on it and we start working towards that. Yep. Because if you have that end goal in mind where you want to go and you're working with a team that knows how to get you there and your financial situation continues to improve and stay on course or get better and better and better, you got to have a place to put the money. And if you're happy, then you're going to want to continue to add properties to your portfolio as well. So it's a part of our normal way of working with clients. And what Ken's talking about here is exactly what we were able to do with him. He started, first of all, Ken is an incredible, I was going to say pioneer, entrepreneur, courageous individual, but somebody who's not the norm.
Not an average investor.
Not an average investor, right? He came to us, figured out the reverse mortgage strategy for him personally, and came to us and said, hey, here's
a home in Northern California, right? In Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Appreciated like crazy over very many years. And then came to you with what?
His previous investments were not solving the problem for him. They weren't meeting the cash flow requirements for him. And he said, I got to do something different. Yep. And he came upon us through a referral. And he had already researched the jumbo reverse mortgage solution. So he had his source of capital, and we helped him and we said, okay, let's go cash right off the bat for your two purchases, because cash flow was the most important need for him at that moment. As other needs started to come up, like, how do I grow this pie the most while also meeting my cash flow requirements? We started to buy properties with conventional financing. And there were many people that told Ken he was never going to be able to get a conventional loan because he's retired. And many people are assuming that you can't get a loan when you don't have active income coming in. But through our connections, we were able to help Ken get a loan. And now we have this incredible portfolio for Ken, which is meeting the cash flow requirements. So his quality of life is very, very high, but also is there to grow the bigger pie for him, for his future generations. Yep. And it's a beautiful thing. It's something that we love to do, is to build that customized plan and see it work through fruition.
Two things in that story that I think go unheard often is, number one, your network of connections is really impressive, right? Like the ecosystem that you guys have created around JWB makes things possible that most folks assume is a no.
Yeah, very true.
Like, for example, myself, I got quoted a 7.125% mortgage for my place that I just closed on. Greg made one call to one guy. I got on the call with him and I got a 6.3% mortgage, right? But just this access to people that know how to move real estate and have been doing it for so long, and you guys have tested and vetted, I think is huge, right? So the idea that someone that's retired could get a mortgage, you talk to anybody, like, right, don't even look at that. That's a waste of time.
Right.
Going to chat with JWB, scheduling a call, running it through them, that, you know, that to me is the resourceful, not your average kind of like resource that you can get out there, right? So like if you have a unconventional situation where somebody's telling you no, I think hopping on a call with JWB's team, who does this all day long, is definitely worth your time before you just recluse yourself to like the average mentality. Second is this idea that, you know, Ken was, we always talk about the fact that you always hear this idea of people late in life are just like, oh yeah, no, this is a great call that you're doing this, too late for me. But at the end of the day, I think folks that are late in life subscribe to this idea that, hey, based on the way that I have always been saving and my retirement planner has always been telling me, I had to save a certain way to get to a certain point. And once I'm here, I cannot take any extra risk. I can't do anything unconventional because it's going to hurt my cash flow. It's going to hurt my things that I'm doing. And by the way, if something bad happens in the market, I just got to take it in the teeth. But real estate provides this avenue that creates more cash flow as time goes on without increasing risk, even late in your life, and provides for a more stable kind of like cash flow when you need it scenario if you're thinking about it the right way, even if you start at 80 years old.
100%. I mean, people in their heads think that they assess risk very differently.
Yeah.
But if you actually assess risk on what is the historically, how often has the home value or the bond value or the stock value gone down, real estate wins there. If you look historically, rates of increase of cash flows, real estate wins there. So it's these things, the stability of it, if you just look at the figures on it, should make you feel have a sense of peace of mind in the real estate asset that you're investing